श्रीमान् वेंकटनाथार्य कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्. It's our bhagyam that we are enjoying the Navarasas of sage Valmiki as beautifully portrayed in Srimad Ramayana. This is compiled by Swami Thaiyar Kuppuswamy Iyengar, so nicely brought out by him in Tamil as a book. So Adiyan refers to it verbatim and to the best of Adiyan's ability or lack of trying to put it in crude English language for the sake of the Sri Vaishnava community, the Rama Bhaktas. Today's Rasam that we talk about is Rowdra Rasam. Rowdram is the inner core of anger. When do we get angry? When somebody speaks harsh words, when there is an injustice, unfairness, differential treatment, when there is tremendous riot, somebody is deprived of their benefit, somebody is caused harm, somebody is hurt because of someone else's action. These are all the reasons for anger. Sometimes the anger comes when we don't understand the right perspective also. Lack of understanding of the situation, we unnecessarily get angry. Now, we will refer to the three anecdotes where Lakshmana got angry and the three anecdotes where Rama also got angry, which is surprising. Lakshmana's is natural. Lakshmana, first, when Kaikeyi instructed Sri Ramachandramurti in her palace when Dasharatha was lying down unconscious, that Rama has to be banished for 14 years to the forest and Bharata needs to rule, needs to have the Yuvaraja Pattabhishekam, 2 boons. So when Lakshmana came to know of it, that Kaushalya is terribly grief struck and Dasharathan has fallen down unconscious. The Ayodhya residents are so disappointed. And Dasharatha is Satyashantan because of the Satya Vak, because he needs to keep up his promise, he is silent. And now Rama has decided to move to the forest. But when Lakshmana heard of it, he simply hit the roof. He said, "This old man has listened to the lady, a woman, and he has gone nuts. He has gone crazy. The eldest one needs to be coronated. That's the Raja Dharmam. Why should he go to the forest? This apriyam, this unjust, this is not a justice. My sharp arrows would kill whoever is siding with Bharata. Whoever is supporting Bharata, my arrows will speak. Narochate mamapyatatarye yadraghavo vanam tyaktva rajyashriyam gachet striya vakyavashankataha." Here, only the one who is covered, who does not have strength, viram, would blame the god, would blame the fate, would blame the destiny. But the veerar, the warriors, the strong ones, the valorous, they do not bother about the fate. They would beat the fate with their mati, with their intellect, with their viryam, with their strength, with their effort. They would change the destiny. They would not feel depressed and sit in a corner crying. These are all people who talk about the fate, are going to see that the fate is going to be changed now. My shoulders, Nashobharta Vimau Bahu, Nadhanur Bhushanayame. My shoulders are not meant for beauty. My shoulders are not enhancing my masculinity. My bow is not for ornament. My sword is not for showing off in my waist. The arrows and the bag are not for me to lie down as a pillow. These four are going to tame the enemy. Lakshmana is so angered, and Rama, the Shanta Swarupi, the firm mind, and the elder one, he said, we need to keep up the word given by our darling father. I have decided to go to the forest, and hence you do not take any action. Don't be angry. He assuaged and assured him and appeased him, and Lakshmana became calmer. And the second time, when Rama and Lakshmana and Sita were in Chitrakutam, and Bharata collected everyone, the citizens, the sage, the matas, the three mothers, everyone came to the forest to fetch Rama back to Ayodhya. Since Bharata could not digest that Rama has been sent to the forest and he has to be made the Yuvaraja. He wanted to get Rama immediately back. So he began to move to the forest, and everybody followed. The Shainyam, the army, was with their band, the army band, and because of the thousands of people were walking towards the forest, were coming on the chariot, there was heavy dust which filled the sky. So when Rama heard the sound, and the birds and the animals went running away with fear in the forest, Rama asked Lakshmana, climb onto the tree and see why there is noise and sound coming, why there is dust filling in the sky. Can you get to know? So Lakshmana climbed the big tree, and from the branch he saw from a distance a huge army coming. So he immediately guessed from the flag which was there that it is the Ayodhya Ikshwaku king's flag. And he told, Anna, the danger is coming. Extinguish, put off the Homagunda Agni. Ask Sita to go into the cave. Let us all be prepared with the bow, the arrows, the kavacham, the shield, and the protection. Let's equip ourselves for the big battle. Rama asked, who is coming? Whose army is this? Why are you shouting? He said, because of Kaikeyi, this Bharatan has taken over the kingdom, and now he wants to make sure that we are killed so that he can be there permanently, not even for 14 years. I can see from the flag that is the Ikshwaku king's flag. And Lakshmana was fired. He had a fiery eyes. And Valmiki says that the Shenai, the Lakshmanan's anger was enough to even burn the entire Sena, entire army. And he said that he wanted the Rajyam. So we gave the Rajyam. Now why is he coming here to kill us? That too with the army. Hey, Rama, our enemy Bharatan has come, and he needs to be killed today by me. There is no papam, sin by killing him. Not at all. Bharatan is the one who caused you this much harm, so much inconvenience, living in the forest, and hence killing him is not adharmam. He has already dropped all dharmam. If we kill him, you have entire right to rule the entire bhumi. Whole bhumi can be ruled by you. And the Kaikeyi, she was so much fond of her son and asked for the Rajyam for her son. Let her see her son being killed by me like the elephant which plucks the tree right from the root. I would kill the Kaikeyi, the entire relations belonging to her, and all my arrows would be filled with blood. I would kill the elephants, the horses, the soldiers. I would tear open their hearts, and then we would live peacefully here. He jumped up and down, Lakshmana. My brother Lakshmana, Bharata is such a gunavan. He is most auspicious. He has got tremendous Kalyana Gunams. He has come here, do you know for what reason? To give back the kingdom to me. I know his nature. I know his heart. Okay, when Bharatan comes and hands over the kingdom, I would give you. Okay, is that okay for you? Now you be calm. Lakshmana was hanging his head in shame, in embarrassment. He came to know that Rama is not at all having an iota of anger on Bharata. Without knowing Rama's Tiruvullam, why did I get angry? Lakshmana felt so bad about himself. And the third time Lakshmana got angry is because after Vali was killed, Sugriva Pattabhishekam, Sugriva went back to his palace, to Vali's palace, and with Rumai and the Rajyam, with the pride of being a king, with the moham, with the love, and because of the rainy season, he was drinking madhubanam, the liquor, and enjoying his life. After so much time, he was involving himself in kama bhogam. And Rama says, Lakshmana, I am here suffering with the pangs of separation, languishing in love, feeling separated from Sita. 4 months look like the 100 years for me. The rain has stopped, the rainy season is over. After 3 months, Sugriva said we would begin to search because it is rainy season. Now he is completely immersed in the bogams. So go to his palace and convey my frustration and anger. He also said, Rama, Sugriva, go and tell Sugriva, the place where Vali was killed, the route which he took is still open. So keep up your promise. Don't go through the Vali's path, Vali track. He only was killed by my arrow. And if you go on, if you digress from your Satya Vakyam, along with your family, the arrow will take. Go and convey. So Rama's manobhavam, Rama's frustration, Rama's anger, Lakshmana understood. Now, by nature, Lakshmana is angry. Now he hits the roof again. Yes, Sugrivan is stupid. He is a fool. He is a Sitringapriyan. He is lusting. He has got so much of lustful desires. And he is ungrateful. He has forgot all that we did. After Vali is killed, the Sugrivan, you should not have given the Rajyam to Sugrivan. You should have given to Angatan, Vali Putran. At least Angatan would have helped us to search. I cannot control my anger on Sugriva. I would go and simply tear open Sugriva's palace. Lakshmana, don't get too much angry. Don't talk like that. We have to get our things done. So, control your anger. Do not talk harsh words. Talk calmly, peacefully. Tell him that your time which you had given is already crossed. Now, you need to start and take action immediately. Just say that. And Raman Bahiprana Ivaparaha. Lakshmanan is actually the Veer of Rama residing outside. So even though Rama asked him to be peaceful, because of Raman, who is suffering, who is frustrated, who is hurt, and Rama's conveying of his frustration to Lakshmana are completely imprinted in his heart. So Lakshmanan went like a storm towards Sugriva's palace. His lips quivered, his eyes were filled with fire, anger. So the Vanaras went haywire, went astray looking at Lakshmana's anger. They thought the Kala Devan is coming, the Yama himself is coming. And Vanarar immediately went and told Sugriva. They rushed and went and told Sugriva. But Sugrivan was inside with Tarai that time. He didn't bother to listen to these monkeys. And Lakshmanan's anger was still all the more increasing. So Lakshmana exhaled very, very hot air. When he exhaled, it was as if the smoke was coming out of the fire. The Tejasvi Lakshmana seemed as if he is the 5-hood snake, and he hissed. Valmiki says, Swatejo Vishasangataha Panchasya Iva Pannakaha. And finally, Sugrivan sends Tarai to Lakshmana to appease him, to calm him down, to make sure that his anger subsides. And because of Tara's words, Lakshmana became slightly calmer. And after talking to Sugrivan, along with Sainyam, the army of the Vanaras, Sugrivan came to Rama's place. So that's Lakshmana's anger. Now, Rama, did he ever get angry? Yes, Rama did get angry. Even though he is Shinattinal Tennilangai Chetra Manattikkiniyan. So Andal mentions Shinattinal Tennilangai Chetra. He went and killed Ravana with anger. So Rama's anger knows no bounds. But such anger does not last long. They can be counted on fingers on one hand, maybe needing two more fingers from the other hand. The Sinattinal Tennilangai Komanai Chetra Manattikkiniyan, he who slayed Ravana out of anger. So it is the way in which, why did he slay out of anger? Because Rama is as cool as cucumber, and he would never ever get angry. He was Shanta Swarupi. In fact, Ravana himself mentions, even when this fellow kills the enormous number of soldiers of my army in this battle, even when he causes me this much agony by stamping an insult on my back with his arrow, I found that he remains so calm, so peaceful, so much shantam and playful as it was when he shot the clay tipped, like the what do we say, the arrow is filled with clay, the tip, and he sent on the hunchback to Kuni Mantara when he was a little boy. So I do not find even a trace of anger in his face, says Kamban in Kambaramayanam, in Yuddhakandam. So this is what Ravana mentions. Then why Sinattinal Tennilangai Komanai Chatra? Because Valmiki says Krodam, he is one of the 16 gunas of Rama, as mentioned by Narada to Valmiki, is Chitakrodaha. He conquers the anger, because one should never ever get angry. One can show anger. Raudram Pazhage. One can cultivate anger, to pretend anger. But anger is a letter short of danger. So Narada says Rama is Jitakrodaha, one who conquered anger. So Valmiki mentions that Krodam Aharaya Tivram. He brings in anger to him. Even when he fights with Karadushanas, the 14,000 Rakshasas, Krodasya Vashame Ivan. Ramanai Kobam Atkondade. Kobam has kindly consented to occupy Rama's heart. And here, why the Vyakyata, the commentators of Ramayana, they mention why Rama, as cool as ever, gets angry. The answer is that he considers the enemies of his devotee as his own enemies. Rama got angry because Rama was on Hanuman's shoulder and Ravana was in the chariot. When Ravana started attacking Rama, Rama hit back smilingly without any anger, Shantam. Then he came to know that Hanuman is below and he is the messenger, he is the Dutan of Rama. So he is so endearing to Rama. So Rama, he started attacking Hanuman now. Hanuman's body was pierced with Ravana's arrows. Rama got terribly angry when he found that Ravana was attacking the Siriya Trivadi Sri Hanuman. He was cool when Ravana's arrows struck his body, but he was angered when Ravana's arrows fell on Hanuman's body. He had shown the same gunam when he got angry with Vali and killed him as Sugriva was angry with his brother. And yet, Rama also cried when Sugriva cried for his brother. So, Rama's anger is shown at that time. And of course, when Sita was abducted by Ravana, he starts searching for Sita everywhere. Where is my Sita? He asked the mountains, he asked the Nadi, he asked the rivers. Where is my Sita? Have you seen? He looks at one huge mountain and said, did you see? Show me. Where is Sita? Otherwise I will break open the entire mountain. I will cut you into pieces. He was so angry. Lakshmana, what are the mountains saying? Lakshmana was filled with grief. He had his voice choked because of anger, because of frustration, because Rama is angry. Rama looks at the floor, looks on the ground, where he sees big footprints. So he also sees some golden particles sprinkled. So he sees some woman's footprint also. So Sita has been abducted by some Rakshasan. These should be the footprints. So he also sees one broken bow and few arrows on the ground. Rama's anger knew no bounds. He was terribly angry. He said, Lakshmana, this dharmam, our dharmam, did not protect Sita. Who can harm me? I was so equipoised with everyone equally. Do they think that I don't have Shakti, I don't have power? If Sita is not given back, I will kill the entire Rakshasa Kulam. Yakshar, Gandharvar, Pishashi, Kinnarar, Manushya, everybody would be tortured, would be destroyed. I would engulf the entire 3 worlds with darkness. There would be no planets, there would be no moon. I would fill the world with darkness. I would completely make the world dry. This minute, let the world see my valor, see my strength. If the Vaidehi is not brought in the same position as she was taken, I would destroy the whole world. His eyes spat fire. His lips quivered. He could not even speak properly because of the anger. He tied his bark, the Maravuri, tight. He tied down his Jadamudi tight. And he looked as if he was Rudra. And he took the bow and he started take one arrow and was ready to send. It looked as if it was going to be a pralaya kalam. Valmiki Bhagavan says he shined like the fire that was at its peak. If I get angry, nobody can stop me. I would turn this entire world upside down, Rama said. Tataham krodha samyukto na nivaryo yachamshayam. And Lakshmana has never ever seen like this before Rama's anger. So Lakshmana fell at Rama's feet. He said, please, Anna, let both of us go search with the bow, with the arrow, with the sword, go to the nook and corners of the mountains of the forest and search for that Rakshasan. You used to be extremely equipoised, calm, peaceful, and you used to be so kind and having mercy towards every being. You should not be doing all these things. Just because one person had abducted Sita, you cannot destroy the whole world. It's not right. It's not appropriate for you, Rama. And Rama was controlling his anger. Of course, as I mentioned, with Karadushanas, he was so much angry. And again, when the next time he got angered was on Samudra Rajan, because he surrendered to Samudra Rajan. He performed Sharanagati so that Samudra Rajan would facilitate for them to build the bridge. When Samudra Rajan did not come at all for 3 days, he again hit the roof. He looked as if he was the Rudran, and he took the bow from Lakshmana. And that time he said, Lakshmana, go bring my bow, go bring the arrows. He said, Chapamanaya Saumitre, Charamcha Aachi Vishopaman. Bring Saumitre. I would dry the entire ocean now and let the Vanarams walk to Lanka. Rama's eyes were filled with fire, and he sent the Vajrayudam, like Vajrayudam, he sent the arrows. The earth shattered. Samudra Rajan came immediately and fell at his feet and said, I would give you the way and I would facilitate for you to build the bridge. Thus we enjoyed the Rama Lakshmana Rowdra Rasam. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkatesaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha. Sri Sita Lakshmana Hanumat Sameta Sri Ramachandra Parabrahmane Namaha. Adiyan.